My dear Glorians of Standard 10th, never underestimate the power of prayer, positive energy, and love. With this thought, I welcome you to another class of science. May your day be filled with all of these. Today, we begin with another chapter in science, carbon compounds. The word organic means pertaining to life. When comparatively little chemistry was known, people thought that substances like sugar, starch, protein could be obtained only from living sources like plants and animals. So, they called such substances organic compounds. As against organic compounds, substances like common salt, blue vitriol, ferrous sulfate, etc., which can be produced from minerals and non-living sources, were called inorganic compounds. Since organic compounds were obtained straight from nature and there was no known method of preparing them in the laboratory, it was believed that they were the products of some vital force of nature. The vital force theory of organic compounds was soon discarded when, in 1828, a German chemist named Friedrich Euler showed that it was possible to obtain an organic compound urea from the laboratory process. Urea, an organic compound, was obtained by using an inorganic compound in the laboratory. With this, the organic compounds received a new identity as carbon compounds. Based on the fact that all organic compounds essentially contain carbon, the term organic compounds now applies to the compounds of carbon. Thus, we say that all the compounds having carbon as a constituent element are called as organic compounds. And organic chemistry is defined as the study of carbon compounds. The exception of organic compounds, objects in everyday use such as foodstuff, fibers, paper, medicines, wood, fuels are made of various compounds. The constituent element common in all these compounds is carbon, and thus these are organic compounds. Thus, we see two types of compounds, organic compounds and inorganic compounds. In organic compounds, we find that carbon is the essential constituent element, while in inorganic compound, carbon is not an essential element. Let us understand comparison between organic and inorganic compounds. Organic compounds have low melting point and low boiling point. Inorganic compounds show high melting point and high boiling point. Organic compounds generally do not dissolve in water. Inorganic compounds generally dissolve in water. Organic compounds are bad conductors of electricity, while inorganic compounds are good conductors of electricity. Organic compounds form covalent bonds, while most of the inorganic compounds form ionic bonds. You have learnt earlier that the force of attraction that holds the atoms together in a molecule is a chemical bond. Chemical bond can be of two types: ionic bond or covalent bond. Ionic bond takes place due to transfer of electrons. For example, sodium loses one electron and becomes positively charged. Chlorine gains this electron from sodium and thus become negatively charged. Since these are oppositely charged, they are held together by electrostatic force of attraction, and thus an ionic bond is created. Covalent bond happens due to sharing of electrons. Hydrogen has one electron in its valence shell, and thus its duplet state is incomplete. When when two atoms of hydrogen combine together and share one electron each, then each of the hydrogen atom has two electrons in its valence shell, and thus each of the hydrogen atom has its duplet state complete. This happens due to sharing of electrons. A bond that takes place due to sharing of electrons is a covalent bond. Later, we will learn about covalent bonds in detail. You have learnt earlier that the symbol of carbon is C. It belongs to group 14 of the periodic table. Atomic number is 6. Therefore, its electronic configuration is 2, 4. 2 electrons in the first shell and 4 electrons in the second shell. And its valency is 4. We know that carbon has 4 electrons in its valence shell, and therefore carbon atom is unstable. The driving force behind the formation of bond by an atom is to attain the stable electronic configuration of the nearby noble gas and obtain stability. Seen here are two noble gases, helium and neon, with their distribution of electrons. Helium electronic configuration 2, while neon electronic configuration 2, 8. Now, carbon can become stable and have electronic configuration of helium. How can it do so? It can do so by losing 4 electrons from its valence shell. When it loses 4 electrons from its valence shell, carbon will have a net positive charge of C4+. The C4+ cation formed by losing electrons will be unstable in spite of its noble gas configuration because it has small size with high net charge. Therefore, carbon does not take this route to attain a noble gas configuration. Now carbon, which has 4 electrons in its valence shell, decides to have electronic configuration like that of neon. Then it needs to have 4 more electrons in its valence shell. That means it has to gain 4 electrons. On gaining 4 electrons, the net negative charge on carbon will be C4 minus. Now, the C4 minus anion formed by gain of electrons will be unstable in spite of its noble gas configuration, as it would have a small size with high net charge. Therefore, carbon atom does not take this route to attain noble gas configuration like that of neon. In order to attain stability, carbon can share these 4 valence electrons with the valence electrons of other atoms. For example, here carbon shares its 4 valence electrons with the valence electron of hydrogen. Here we can see 4 atoms of hydrogen, and hydrogen has 1 valence electron. Hydrogen requires 1 more electron in order to have stable electronic configuration like that of helium. So if it has 1 more electron, then it would have its duplet state complete. Therefore, when 4 atoms of hydrogen combine with 1 atom of carbon, by sharing of electrons, then you can see that each of the hydrogen atom has its duplet state complete, and thus each of the hydrogen atoms are stable. What about carbon? Carbon will have now 8 electrons in its valence shell, and thus it will have electronic configuration like that of neon. So by sharing of electrons, a covalent bond is formed between carbon and hydrogen. We can see that valence shells of both the atoms overlap and accommodate the shared electrons. As a result, both the atoms attain a noble gas configuration and no net charge is formed on them. Thus, carbon forms a covalent bond in order to attain stability. It's time now to understand more about covalent bonds. We know that caring is sharing. So, covalent bond is formed due to sharing of electrons. We will now understand formation of covalent bond in hydrogen molecule. We know that hydrogen has symbol H and its atomic number is 1, which means that it has 1 electron. The covalent bond can be represented by drawing an electron dot structure. In this method, a circle is drawn around the atomic symbol and the valence electrons is indicated by a dot or a cross. Thus, in the circle, we will find only the valence electron. Now, we know that hydrogen has only one shell, and that is its K shell. The K shell has the capacity to hold 2 electrons. So here we can see that hydrogen is unstable. If it has 2 electrons, then it will attain stability and possess electronic configuration like that of its nearest noble gas, helium. Same is the story with this atom of hydrogen. Now, when both these atoms of hydrogen decide to come together and share their electrons, then this shared electron is shown by the overlapping of the circles and the valence electrons in between them. Thus, this hydrogen atom has 2 electrons in its valence shell, and thus its duplet state is complete. And so also this hydrogen atom has 2 electrons in its valence shell. This one pair of electrons shared between the 2 atoms is the common property of both the atoms. When atoms share one pair of electrons, it gives rise to single covalent bond. The electron dot structure can also be drawn without showing the circle. This is a representation of the valence electrons of atom using dots around the symbol of the element. For example, here hydrogen atom had 1 electron in its valence shell. So this hydrogen is indicated with its one valence electron. The other hydrogen atom also had one valence electron, which is indicated with this dot. Thus, between them, there is sharing of one pair of electrons. A covalent bond can also be represented by a small line joining the symbol of the two atoms in the molecule. Such a structure is called as the line structure or structural formula. So this representation is the line structure. It is also called structural formula. Please make a note of this. Since these two hydrogen atoms share one pair of electron, it gives rise to single covalent bond. And because there is single covalent bond between these two atoms, it is represented by a single line. Let us understand formation of double covalent bond in oxygen molecule. Oxygen, we know symbol is O. It is very simple to remember its atomic number because if we put another O on top of this, it will look like 8. Atomic number of oxygen is 8. Therefore, its electronic configuration is 2, 6. In electron dot diagram, we need to show only the valence electrons, and as we can see, it has 6 valence electrons. Thus, on the circle, we will indicate only these 6 electrons. We can indicate them by using dot or cross. So the first oxygen atom, we can show the 6 electrons in the valence shell. And as you can see, it is unstable because oxygen does not have electronic configuration like that of its nearest noble gas, neon. Neon has electronic configuration 2, 8. So also this atom of hydrogen is indicated with its valence electrons, and these valence electrons are shown with the help of dots. Both the atoms of oxygen are unstable. They attain stability by sharing their electrons. The shared electrons are shown on the overlap of the circles. Now, this oxygen atom has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons plus the 2 electrons coming from the other oxygen atom. This oxygen atom will also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So both of them have 8 electrons each, and therefore they have a stable electronic configuration like that of neon. Thus we see between them there is sharing of 2 pairs of electrons. When 2 pairs of electrons are shared, we call it double covalent bond. The electron dot structure without the use of circle is as shown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons for one oxygen atom and 6 electrons for the other oxygen atom. Sharing of electrons, this is the second pair. So the shared pair of electrons are shown in between the two. So the space between the two atoms will indicate only the shared pair of electrons. And as you can see, there were total 4 electrons, that means 2 pairs. And thus in between we can see only 4 electrons, in other words 2 pairs of electrons. Thus, there is formation of a double covalent bond between the two atoms of oxygen. The line structure representation will be as follows. So these two pairs will be shown by two straight lines, and thus there is double covalent bonds. So one straight line indicates two electrons. Two straight lines will indicate four electrons. So each atom of oxygen will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electron. So also the other oxygen atom will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons. This is how formation of a double covalent bond takes place in oxygen molecule. Let us understand the formation of triple covalent bond with nitrogen molecule as example. Symbol of nitrogen is N. If you look from sideways, you can see there is the shape of 7 in N. Thus, it is very easy to remember that atomic number of nitrogen is 7. Thus, its electronic configuration is 2, 5. Let us use electron dot structure to represent the covalent bonds formed between nitrogen atoms without the use of circle. As you can see, nitrogen has 5 valence electrons. Therefore, around the symbol of nitrogen, we need to show 5 dots. The placement of these dots is very important, keeping in mind how many electrons will be shared between two nitrogen atoms. So here we have shown the 5 electrons present in the valence shell of nitrogen. 3 on its right hand side and 2 on its left hand side. Likewise, another atom of nitrogen will also have 5 valence electrons. This atom of nitrogen is indicated in a different color, and you can see for this nitrogen atom I have placed 2 electrons on the right and 3 electrons on the left. So the placement is such that 3 electrons are there, 3 pairs of electrons are there between the space of these symbols. In order to be stable, nitrogen requires 8 electrons to be present in its valence shell. It has 5 electrons of its own. Now, if these two nitrogen atoms come close to each other and share 3 electrons each, then both of them will be stable. So each of the atom decides to share 3 electrons, then each atom would have 8 electrons. So the first atom, let us see the count of electrons in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what it originally had, and 3 more coming from the other nitrogen atom. So it has 5 plus 3, which means 8 electrons. Therefore, this nitrogen atom is stable. Now, this shared electrons are common property of both the atoms. Therefore, for the other nitrogen atom as well, the sharing is as shown, and both of them will now have 8 electrons. Let us see for the second nitrogen atom. It has 5 electrons of its own and 3 it gets due to sharing. So between the two atoms of nitrogen, how many pairs of electrons do you see? 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pairs. So there are 3 pairs of electrons. And since there is sharing of 3 pairs of electrons, it is formation of a triple covalent bond. The line structure or structural formula will thus be as follows. These 3 pairs of electrons are shown by 3 lines indicated that there is formation of triple covalent bond in nitrogen molecule. These 2 electrons are shown on the left hand side These two electrons are shown onto the right of the second nitrogen atom. Now you may have understood why the placement of these electrons was very important. Let us understand formation of covalent bond in methane. Methane, as we know, is formed due to bonding between carbon and hydrogen atoms. To begin with carbon, symbol C. If you notice C and you turn the C, you will get number 6. Therefore, it's very simple to remember the atomic number of carbon, which is 6. Thus, its electronic configuration is 2, 4. 4 electrons in the valence shell. These 4 electrons in the valence shell are indicated on the circle in the electron dot structure. So we see that carbon is unstable. Hydrogen atomic number 1. It has 1 electron in its valence shell. We show 4 atoms of hydrogen. Carbon requires 4 more electrons in order to become stable and have electronic configuration like that of neon. Hydrogen needs 1 more electron and thus its duplet state will be complete and have electronic configuration like that of helium. So when one carbon atom combines with 4 hydrogen atoms, then sharing of electrons can happen among them as shown. So carbon will share 4 of its electrons with 4 atoms of hydrogen, and each of the atom of hydrogen shares its single lone electron with carbon atom. So each hydrogen atom will now have 2 electrons and thus their duplet state is complete. What about carbon? Carbon will now have, on sharing, it will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So carbon will have 8 electrons and thus its octet state is complete and it has now electronic configuration like that of neon. So between carbon and one hydrogen atom, there is one pair of electron. Carbon and hydrogen atom, one pair of electron. Carbon and hydrogen atom, one pair of electron. Carbon and hydrogen atom, one pair of electron. So these pairs of electrons are indicated here. This is the electron dot structure without the use of circle. Let us see how each of them becomes stable. So one hydrogen will have 2 electrons. The other hydrogen also has 2 electrons. The third hydrogen atom has 2 electrons. And the fourth hydrogen atom has 2 electrons. Now carbon will have, on sharing with hydrogen, it will have total of 8 electrons. This is how the sharing of electrons happens. When one pair of electron is shared, it is shown by a single covalent bond which is represented by a single line. So around one carbon atom, we show one single line between carbon and hydrogen. Carbon and hydrogen. So like this, we show 4 single lines with the bonding formed with hydrogen atom. Thus, this becomes the line structure or structural formula of methane. And CH4 is the molecular formula of methane. Girls, that was all for today. In this class, we have covered page 110, 111 and 112 of your textbook. A gentle reminder, please make sure that you practice all the electron dot structures and line structures of the various molecules we have studied today. It's time now to say goodbye and take your leave. Thank you, dear girls, for joining me. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.